Hey guys, it's me Jocelyn. So today I'm going to be showing you some simple transitions on Alight Motion. Now these are to be used when either you don't know what transition to use or you're making a more simplistic or soft or aesthetic edit or something like that. So yeah, let's just get started. So first things first, you're going to want to have tiles mirrored onto your photos. I have them on both already, so yeah, once you guys have that, that's great. And then you want to go into Move and Transform and go to the spin panel and add 2 keyframes, one at the beginning and one at the end. And on the one at the end, spin it to about 90 to 120 degrees. It's whatever you prefer. Then make sure you're in between the keyframes and add your graph on. Now I'm going to enable overshoot, and then I'm going to select this graph right here, and I'm going to pull down a little bit like this. So it's going to end up looking something like this. Like you could see, it spins the other way and then it starts transforming into the whole spin. Now I'm going to copy this graph, and then I'm going to go into color and light, and I'm going to add on brightness and contrast, or you can even do exposure. And add 2 keyframes for exposure, one at the beginning and one at the end. I'm going to turn it up a little bit at the end. You can turn it up as much as you want. It doesn't have to be too intense. And then I'm just going to paste on that same graph that we used the first time. So as you can see, it kind of gets dark and then it gets really light. I might make that a little bit subtle though, like that. Now in your second clip, just go ahead and finish off that spin transition. And you can just do a simple out graph. It doesn't have to be intense or anything like that unless you want it to be, of course. This is going to be my out graph. Remember, I still have overshoot enabled. So now I'm just going to go on to effects, and then I'm going to add on exposure and gamma again. Add 2 keyframes, and on the first one I'm just going to increase it to about what I had it to before, and I'm not going to add a graph. So this is going to be the final transition. It's very simple, but it still looks super cool, and yeah. So for the next transition, you're going to want to have your clips set up like this, one on top of the other, and then like the first clip like underneath the second one. It's kind of hard to explain, but just have them set up like this. And then what you want to do is you want to go to shapes, and you want to add on a circle. You can add on a circle, a heart, a square, it's whatever you want. I'm just adding on a circle, and I'm going to trim it just so it's the same duration as the rest of my clips. And then I'm going to zoom in the circle all the way so it covers her face, just like this. You don't want it to be touching the edges. Now what you want to do is, also it doesn't matter what color your circle is, if it's not like a big deal. So what you want to do is you want to hold down on the circle, and you want to hold down on your photo, and then you want to tap this right here, and basically what it does is it masks the photo like into a circle shape. So yeah. Now what you want to do is you want to go on to the group and mask and go on to Move and Transform. Now go on to the zoom in and add 2 keyframes, one at the beginning and one at the end. And you can zoom this out as far as you want for the beginning, and then you can just have it zoom back in. You can do any graph you want. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a more bouncy graph so it comes in a little bit quicker like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add on wave warp to it. Now this is optional. You don't have to do this because this does require pro. But I'm just going to do this anyways because I like the look of it. So yeah. And I'm also going to add on a exposure flash. So it should end up looking something like this. And I'm going to have it actually fill the whole screen. I don't know why I didn't do that at first. So I'm just going to have my circle fill my entire screen. And I'm also going to add on motion blur too, because for some reason I forgot to do that. And this is what your transition should look like when it is done. So for this next transition, you're going to want to have your photos set up exactly like we did last time. And on your top clip, you're going to want to go on to add effects, and then go ahead and go to the search bar and type in wipe. And you only need to add this on once. So you should go ahead and make your start about 50%. It has to be on the dot too. And go to your end and make it the exact same percentage. Now what you want to do is you want to go back to start, add a keyframe at the beginning and at the end, and then just slide it open to about 0%. Oops. Slide it open to about 0%. Now you can do any type of graph that you want on this. I'm just going to do a simple out graph because that's just what's easiest. And I'm going to copy this graph so I can use it on my next keyframes. So go to end and then just add on those 2 keyframes again, but instead this time make end go all the way to 100. Now just go ahead and add on that same graph. As you can see, it's like the photo is spreading open, but I'm going to add on shadow to this because I like the look of the shadow a little bit more. And I'm also going to increase the feather because I love the look of smooth edges. That's completely optional. You guys don't have to do that. I just like the look of it. And I think I'm also going to add on wave warp once again. Also, this, like I said before, is completely optional. I just like the look of it. So yeah. And this is the final transition.